Okay, so we'll start mixing up some skin tones, some skin color. Got these Vallejo colors here. I've got this flat flesh, which I will use, but I think it's going to be way too light, but it might be a good place to start. So we'll put a little of that. Whoa, okay. Oh, well, there it goes. I got these Vallejo paints in a large lot from an estate sale for very cheap, so that's why I'm being so wasteful with them. I think they're quite old. I think they're many, many years old, but they still work. And I had never really used them before previous. This is another one. This is a gaming color, a Vallejo gaming color dwarf skin. So I've used this before. It's a little pinker color than the regular flesh. So since he is a monster, at least half of him is a monster. We're not sure exactly what kind of coloration he should have. I'm gonna mess around with a little bit of this green ochre. It's kind of a yellowish color. I thought, well, if he's a monster, he may very well be looking a little jaundiced. We got that. I think I will add some of this beige for good measure, tiny little bit. Let's see if we can mix up something here. A little bit of this medium. Maybe some of that. Tiny little touch of this. Remember, this stuff tends to be really strong and overpower the other color. I'll try some of this yellow and see where it gets us. Okay, now maybe a touch of the brown. Okay, this may be a good place to start. So this arm is actually supposed to be changing into Mr. Hyde. This arm is the more reasonable Dr. Jekyll side that's, choking himself, reacting to the potion. And this one is saying more, guzzling down more. So I think maybe I will just start here and see where it takes us. This arm was molded almost completely from milliput putty. So I cut off the hand portion and mixed it in because the old glow-in-the-dark plastic was completely misshapen. So I used to figure out a way to add some hairy texture to this. It's supposed to be becoming hairier and hairier as he's getting more and more monstrous, but I haven't figured out a way to do that yet, to add a hairy texture. I don't know if anybody, I've tried with just smearing like putty in there and trying to texture it with various tools, and it's never really worked very well. I thought maybe if I could get some little bits of sawdust or something and glue it down, or some kind of little slivers of some kind of material and then glue it down to the the figure, it would look like real hair. I don't know. Okay, it's not a bad flesh tone at all. It looks pretty good for him. It's not very monstrous. I think I'll probably have to mess with it a bit to get it looking more realistic. Or more, what's the word? Scary, terrifying, monstrous. I guess I might as well start on the face as well. I don't know, he's supposed to be kind of devolving back to a almost like an ape figure. But I think, yeah, his but that's a good. Perhaps we've made a start. Let's see. I think we need a little bit of a tone on his arm here. Steal some more of this. See if we can do this. If I start in here. Maybe that can give him a more of a hairy well, we're making a start. Hairy knuckles. He should definitely have hairy knuckles. Maybe not so much on his palm, but that's a bit much. That's a bit much. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's perhaps a bit much. Tone it down. Take it down a notch. Well, we will let that dry and try again. I think in the meantime, a little bit of this paint dries very fast. We can go back to the... Okay, most of that will be covered up by the bottle, so I shouldn't... Don't worry too much about that. Okay, other side, maybe a little... And we've got nice muscle here showing. We'll get a little bit of lighter tones, a little highlight, but a little bit of shadow emphasizes his forearm muscle there. And well, what did I do with my paintbrush? Okay. Where's a darker color? I've got the whole red. We can try a little bit of that. Oh, it just gushed right out. Wow. Okay. It's a little bit too chocolatey brown, I think. No, it's looking pretty good. We'll see. For next phase. Give him some distinguished gray around the temples, but maybe not. Not yet. This is just kind of actually to give me an idea. It's not, definitely not the finished product. Let's see. It's a little. Ooh. He's not quite symmetrical here. It's not really sure what I've got until I get him. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this side of his face doesn't look quite as hairy. His beard isn't quite as developed, so his right arm is getting hairy and monstrous, and the left side of his face is doing it, but the right side is not so much. Well, okay. Let's see if we can do something with his hair. We'll make it a little bit darker back here. It should be back of his head. We'll make it much darker. But it's going to be something like that. I haven't really touched the eyes yet. That will be coming. But yeah, that's... the side of his face is not terribly... it's not as developed in the monster department as the other side. Well, let's see if we can do this now. The eyes. Okay, well, there's a start on the eyes. He's got brown eyes. And working on these rings. He's been up for days working on this formula, so he hasn't gotten much sleep, obviously. And it shows. As we will be adding darker tones for the eyes. The shadow of his eyelid and the pupils, if nothing else. Trying to get up the nostril there. And unpainted plastic, or the primer accounted for. Okay. I think I need a little darker. Okay, we're getting there. I think we need a little something down here. Yeah, we'll just have to blend this in a bit. Can we? Behind the ears. He doesn't wash behind the ears, so it's going to be not so clean down there. I think if we put a little bright spot on the side of his forehead. Okay. Let's okay. Can't really get the camera in there, but trying to get it covered and get. Okay. Yeah, that's very odd that the one side of his head is hairier than the other side. Oh well, and it's not the same side that's got the hairy arm. touch of this trying to get this under his lids without making him look too made up. Under his brow, under his eyebrows. Okay, a little touching up there will work, I believe. This side. Yeah. We're getting there. We're definitely getting there. We just lost the dark. We lost the... Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I see what I need to do. I'm going to let him dry for a bit. And we will pick up and touch it up. See if I can get a pen to help touch up some of these details. Even him out a bit. Get rid of the last of the primer showing. So we'll keep going. Here is what we've got. So I'm thinking he's finished. Finished up the face, most of the features. His flask here, the flask that was originally with it was the glow-in-the-dark flask, and it was unusable. I wanted to try to do something a little better, so I was able to do a little work with the 3D printer, some clear resin, was able to print up this flask here. It looks good. I had to do it in 2 parts. As I tried to make it hollow, but my 3D printer, unfortunately, the resin isn't quite good enough, so I couldn't get it completely hollow. It's got an airspace in the center, but so I used some transparent paint, some thinned down paint to try to give the illusion of a liquid in there. It's kind of a green liquid, looks like Gatorade, the evil Gatorade of Dr. Jekyll. And then I took some of this medium, some of this just acrylic medium, and I just spread some out on a piece of plastic and let it dry, and then peeled it up into little strips and tried to make the liquid coming out of the bottle like originally I had the liquid going right into his mouth, but I thought, well, this flask is a little far away from his mouth to have this liquid actually going all the way in, kind of jetting into his mouth. So I thought, well, maybe this is after his first swallow and the effects are kind of overwhelming him, so he pulls the bottle away and the liquid's still running out, so it's kind of in midair here, coming out, gonna run down his jacket, and I got some, see, we've had some spilling down his lab coat here, so it's also kind of coming out of his mouth here where it's overflowing, and he's kind of spitting it up a little bit. It's coming out of his mouth and running down his hand there. So I think that will work. I think overall he looks pretty good. I think he's pretty much done. Need to mount him to the base, and the base is right here, and I've got the table and the chair glued down, And I need to do something with the edge here to finish it off. I also have the little sign, the little label, whatever. It was quite damaged from a lot of this heavy use of the glue, so I'm hoping this will suffice just to kind of fill in the gaps here. Got to paint that. Not sure what colors I will paint it yet, but it's going to go right here. That's where it originally went. So on his tabletop here, we needed some glassware, some of the original glassware. The person that built this originally pretty much used every single piece of glassware that came with the kit. It came with glow-in-the-dark pieces and regular opaque pieces, and they just glued them all down. And of course they used gobs and gobs of that lemon glue, so it was pretty much useless. I tried peeling it off, but it just didn't work. So I was able to go online and find some 3D printer files, some STL files. So I've got a flask here that is a regular, I guess it's a Erlenmeyer flask, and printed this out of clear resin, the Anycubic clear resin. It came out okay, and then what I did was I took some of the clear resin and got some of this resin dye, transparent pigment, to add to transparent resin, UV resin. I did that. They sell that for jewelry making. So I mixed up a green color, kind of a ghastly green color, and just poured it in using a syringe. This thing is completely hollow. Poured it in and then zapped it, just cured it with a UV light. So we've got some transparent green here. So that's going to go on the table right there, I think. Then we've got a graduated cylinder, which I'm assuming he used this to measure out the formula. So it's printed in transparent resin. Again, my 3D printer isn't super high resolution, so I wasn't able to make this completely hollow. If it was, I could have put some colored liquid into it, but as it stands, it's just going to have to look like maybe it's empty. That was his measuring device. Something he used that, put that there. Then I printed up some test tubes with a test tube holder, and I still have to work on finishing these. They need a little cleaning up, but and I've got the test tube holder here. So we've got 4 test tubes. I've got 3 in the holder, thinking of putting them there, and then maybe because this is a chaotic scene, it's haphazard, he's thrown his chair around, he's struggling, so maybe we'll put one of the test tubes on the table, kind of like that. And then we have the beaker. I guess he poured the mixture, poured it into this beaker, and then poured it from the beaker with the last remaining ingredients into his flask that he's drinking out of. And the beaker is right here. The kit comes with a beaker that I was unable to reuse. So the beaker, I put some of the liquid in there. It hasn't been cured yet, but the idea is that the beaker will go sideways with the liquid running out, probably back about like that, onto the table and running down to the floor, making a little puddle in the floor. And then we've got the rat. Still working on the rat, trying to make him a Norway rat. Unfortunately, the Norway rats are, I guess it's the most common rat in the UK, according to my research. But they're predominantly brown on top, and it's more brown. I've got all of this brown color. I didn't want it to all run together, so I'm trying to model it up a little bit. And there's some black, and I guess the Norway rats are kind of light colored underneath, and then they're black and brown kind of mixed on top. So I'm going to do a little more coloration here, make it a little more interesting. And he's going to go right down here. He's going to be coming around the corner of the table, presumably to lap up some of the spilled concoction there of Dr. Jekyll. And, you know, Lord help us, I don't know what's going to happen after that, but we'll have a monster super rat or something. So Dr. Jekyll will go right here, and about like that. And then the plaque will go right there. So that's about all I have to do, is secure all these things, all these pieces down, and do a little touching up. There's little, you know, bits and pieces, areas that need to be refined. His face, I finished. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it looks good. I finished it off with some matte varnish, just some of the acrylic medium. Yeah, this stuff here, matte medium, which is going to give him hopefully an overall matte finish, with some little bits of gloss here and there in the liquidy parts. But yeah, so he'll probably go about like that, and that will be it. I think he will be more or less done at that point. But we've got a little bit more to go. We'll keep moving. And here he is. I believe he is done. Finished the, got all of the glassware on the table. I'm having a hard time focusing. Come on, let's do it. Let's see if we can get this focused. And putting that flask down, I used crazy glue, and of course got some on my fingers, so the crazy glue leaves residue, which looks kind of cloudy, but you know, it's the best I could do. There it is. I think he looks okay. We've got our spill down there on the floor. We've got the rat coming around to check it out. The nameplate, I was able to make it look decent. It's kind of distorted there a little bit in the background and on the bottom, but this kit has seen a lot, so I think, you know, we did the best we can. Going up the face, there he is. Here, let's do this. Let's see if we can turn him around without getting him too much in shadow. We've got the liquid coming out, pouring out of the bottle, and go around the back. Looks pretty good. Looks kind of sweaty, and he's had a rough time of it, but got the chair there on the floor. Chair, it's not a chair, it's a stool. Okay, coming around this way, you can see the liquid coming out of his mouth. He's kind of coughing it up, kind of, my God, what have I done? And that's what happens when you mess with things better left alone. So I'm pretty pleased with it. This is pretty much what I expected it to look like. No big surprises. I was hoping to do a better job on the glassware, but I think it works. We've got the spilled liquid there, and for the edge of the base, I just painted it black, so it just gives it a nice finish. So I'm going to keep getting my finger in the way. We'll pull back a little bit. If you made it this far, or if you skipped ahead, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like it. If you think you might like more of these videos, please subscribe. We got more coming. So thanks again. Bye-bye for now, and we'll see you in the next modal.